Hi guys, EBPMAN with Tablets for Me, and today we're going to do an unboxing and review of the Samsung Galaxy S5. So let's take a look and see what's inside the Samsung Galaxy S5 box. The first thing to observe is that Samsung is keeping in line with the eco-friendly recyclable boxes. You can tell by just the color of the box itself. Inside, what you'll find is your actual user guide. So it's a quick start guide. Something really simple, small. You have your Samsung Galaxy S5 phone. So here's your S5. All right, and we'll go into this a little bit later. We'll remove this out of the way. Our SIM card, and it is using a the micro SIM, not the nano SIM like the iPhone does. It's the micro SIM that you see right there. We'll flip this over. Another guide or another instruction card that talks about using Smart Switch, which is a quick way to move your content and as you're switching devices. So we'll take a look at that a little bit later. Health and warning guide. A USB 3.0 cable, and you notice that the USB 3.0 has two plugs that go in. This one is the one that you typically are used to when you have your standard S4 or any other, I would say like the HTC or the LG, all use the standard USB 2.0, and then the combination gives us faster charging and also faster data transferring. But you can use, if you have an old cable just like this that looks like that, you can still use it to charge it. It just won't be as fast, and you could also use it to connect to a computer. It just won't transfer as fast. So you have one of those cables. They've included headsets again, so here you have the white headsets. You have your charging brick, and then you have your battery. And the battery is different right off the bat. I don't recall that any of the Samsung phones that I received actually had the actual battery in a plastic bag. But those of you who are familiar with the device can correct me on the YouTube channel. But notice how narrow the actual battery is. And if we take a look and see the battery, let's see if I can get that close up so we can zoom in right there. Okay, the battery is a 2,800 milliamp hour battery. Okay, so there you have your battery. And it looks like that's it. So that was a quick unboxing of what's in the box for the Samsung Galaxy S5. Let's go ahead and start it up and see what's different in the startup process. Before starting up the actual phone and looking at the startup, let's go over some of the features of the S5. One of the main differences with the S5 is that it does have now a fingerprint scanner here that is used to unlock the phone, as well as make purchases with PayPal, several other different types of capabilities, even launching programs. It's supporting a new I would say a standard called FIDO, for those of you who are really techie, when it comes to how it uses the fingerprint to authenticate for payment initiation or for purchases. Here you have the actual power button, right? So nothing's really changed much there. You have your volume controls. There is a slight ridge. See if it comes out on the video here. So it's not a smooth bezel going all the way around here. Or there's the chrome portion. It does have some. You'll see some texture to it, if not texture, but some designs there, as you can see. The very bottom, the USB, it does have the USB ports are plugged, and the phone is smart enough that when you unplug it, it will show a little message letting you know that the phone, that the charger is disconnected and to cover these ports. This is necessary or is here because the phone is water resistant, not waterproof. So that means that if you're caught outside in the rain or you get splashed, you don't have to worry about the phone getting damaged. It is not something that is designed to be submersed and for you to take videos underwater without an additional case. On the back here, you'll see that you have your speaker. So it has the speaker on one side. That's a little disappointing. I would have hoped that it had a dual speaker, but it only has one. We'll see how that works. And then the back right here, you have your fingerprint sensor. Right? You have a 16 megapixel camera in the back, and you have a 2 megapixel camera in the front. And it does support 4x digital zoom. One of the things that sets this the Samsung S5 apart also is the fact that it is capable of recording beyond HD. Most of us know HD is 1080p. You see it in all the boxes, and when you go look at the TVs, if you're going to buy a TV, this supports what is called 4K. Full HD recording. So this is a really high resolution. For those of you who are teching and into that stuff, it's 3840 by 2160 at 30 frames per second. So that means that it's going to be gorgeous when it does the recordings, but you really need a TV that takes advantage of it, or even, because the quality is just outstanding. You have on the top, you have your headphone jack. You have an IR blaster, so this is if you want to change the channels of your television. A pinhole mic. You have a pinhole mic here on the bottom, and then the sensors that come with the Samsung lines, where it detects the motion, it detects proximity to your face, it detects also ambient light. All those little sensors are there available as well. So let's go ahead and start the phone and see what's involved. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open up the back cover, or remove the cover. You'll notice that there is a little opening on this side, and again, it's right by your power button. All you do is you put your nail right there and you pull out parts. You don't have to worry about breaking the case. Now, what you have here is a little gasket that's going all the way around. This is important that this stay in place, because this helps your waterproofing of your phone. You'll notice that all the major components, the battery compartment, gets protected by this. Now, something else I just wanted to highlight is this area, because some of you may be wondering, hey, where do I put my SIM? Because there's no SIM card on the outside, or micro SD card on the outside. And typically you never really find that on the phones, but normally it's the micro SD where you do your storage card. It's on the outside. Well, this is a dual, I'd say a dual bay, if you want to call it that. On the bottom, this is where your actual SIM goes. This is for your AT&T SIM, T-Mobile SIM. And then on the top is where you would put your actually micro SD card. Here's an example of the actual, again, the AT&T card in and the SIM card on top, and you notice how they piggyback on each other. So this is a pretty cool design, because you really don't have to worry about the having or use up a slot anywhere else, and it also helps keep the phone watertight. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my battery, and you notice that the contact points are on this side, and here you have your contact points, and I'm going to insert it in the phone, and I'm going to close the cover up. I don't have a SIM installed in this one, so I'm just going to do it without the SIM or the micro SD. Okay, so now I have my battery in and the cover on. I'm going to power it up. Okay, you'll notice that one of the new things here on the bottom is the powered by Android. Typically it says Samsung Galaxy S5, but now you have powered by Android. I think you're going to see a lot of other phones will have that as well. A very colorful Samsung logo. It used to be the standard blue, but you saw something very colorful. And now the AT&T, and that, I got to tell you guys, that was fast. Again, the process typically is much longer if you recall your previous phone. Here we have what I had with the ability to do a couple seconds ago was to choose my wireless network. I'm going to skip that for now. I'm going to accept the terms and conditions, and here is basically asking, do you want to provide information or data usage, statistical information. You can consent to do that or not. This one you have to agree to. I'm going to say no thanks. I don't want you to know about my data or how I use the product. At this point, what you would do is choose and enter your Google account. I'm going to skip that for now, and I'd say not now. You have the ability to opt in to any of your location settings. I typically opt into all these things because I really like the features in Google where it tells me how long does it take for me to get to work, how long does it take for me to get home, and then also some of the other neat features with restaurants. So I always opt in. You'd put in your personal information as to who the phone belongs to. I'm going to skip that. You would sign in to your Google account, your Samsung account. I'll skip that. It's good to do this because there are some features that are important, such as locating your phone using some of the Samsung technology. There's also some backups that take place, but I'm going to skip it. And then at this point you could register your emails. I'll skip that as well. I'm going to skip the AT&T locker option. So that's some software offering that AT&T provides. And notice how, because I didn't really close the cover tightly, it is telling me that the cover may be not closed or secured. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that real quick. to make sure that that's the case. And yes, it was, so maybe that was just a little warning. And this is your S5. So if we were to start it up and look and see what programs are installed, you'll notice that you have some AT&T bloatware that's up here. I'll show you how you can disable that if you want. Google stuff that is pretty standard, some Samsung stuff. So that's 1, 2, 3 pages, and that's pretty much it. There's not a lot there that comes pre-installed. I will tell you that if you are already using a Samsung phone, once you put in your Google account, it's going to immediately start installing all the applications that you already have on your phone. Let it go through that process. You actually want that to happen. That was the startup. That was the setup really quick. What we'll do is we'll go through different features and how you can use some of the new features, the biometric or the heart rate monitor, and we'll set up some of the other things in a couple seconds. I'll post more videos throughout the night so that when you do get your phone, if you happen to get it today or if you get it on Friday, you'll be ready to use the phone as soon as you receive it.